In this particular program, as I have told, this is being a professional option trading course. So when we talk about it is a professional option trading course, it is intended to how we can use this concept in the trading. It is nothing to do with the theoretical concepts, theoretical to write a exam and clear it. So this program is being designed for the trader, and you as a trader need to know how I can use all this option concept in my trading. So this basic program is being devised to address all those practicality of the trade. So before that, I will request you, once you go through this basic program, please keep your mobile phones and everything is in the silent mode. Concentrate few hours to learning. So this is the one-time learning you are doing for yourself. So once you understand these internals, your trade habits will improve, your trade performance will improve, and definitely it will impact on the profitability of your trade. So we'll start the very basics. As I told you, this particular program divides into two parts. One is your basics, another is your advanced concept. So in the basic section, what are the things we are going to learn? What is a call option and put option? Very basic concept. ITM, ATM and OTM options, delta, theta and beta, and how to use it. So this is very important. I will not tell you that how to calculate delta, how to calculate vega, and how to calculate theta, how to use it, and what is option IV, and open interest and put call ratio. And three basic option strategies also I will be explaining. Basic, very basic strategies. So this is very important that many of you are knowing the delta, many of you are knowing the vega, many of are knowing the theta. So, but how to use it? What use it has for me as a trader? That is important. So that you are going to learn in this particular foundation course, and then we will be having the live webinar, which is a 1.5 hours duration webinar we have kept it. And this particular concepts are very basic concept. If you are going through, you must encourage other traders to learn this thing also, because we to conduct certain programs, but it is very important if you promote other traders to learn this concept and use it in a proper way, they will also get benefited, because day by day the market will become complex. The exchange will introduce many complex instruments, so we must have prepare ourselves for that. So coming to a call option and put option, what is a call option and what is a put option? So most of you are using the future, and we are trading in stock future, we are trading in index future. So what is that? So the future is a contract between a buyer and seller to execute a trade for delivery on a future date. So whenever you are buying a 27th expiry, 27th expiry Nifty, if you say that I am buying 27th expiry Nifty, this says that somebody has sold you, then only you can able to buy it. Once you are buying this Nifty on 27th February or 27th of expiry date, this should be delivered to you. And the person who has sold you, he will give you the Nifty at the predefined price. So suppose if you are buying a Nifty future at 10,000 and it is for the November expiry, say at the November, say it is falling on the 27th of November. On 27th of November, the person who has sold you Nifty at 10,000 has to deliver you at 10,000. At that time, if the Nifty is at 10,500, then the person who has sold you, he has to carry 500 points loss. If at that point of time the 9,500 Nifty is there, then you have agreemented to buy it at 10,000. So you will be bearing a 5,500 rupees loss. And this trade is guaranteed by the broker and the exchange, and every day whatever the profit and loss comes for a buyer or seller, it has to be obligated. That is known as your M2M, mark to market margin. Now coming to the option. So option has many vast definition, but option act as an insurance, or it is a buying or selling rights for the underlying asset. Rights, and in Hindi we used to say it is adhikar. You have a right to do this. I do not have right to do that. So I have the, as a customer or as a client, I have the right to ask a question. So that particular right is being given to the buyer of the option. Option is an insurance. Option is a buying or selling rights for the underlying asset, and this rights is not given to the option seller. This rights is given only to the option buyer. And these options are of two types: call option and put option. So when we talk about the call option, it is the insurance for the future seller. So if you have sold a future, then call option act as an insurance for you. If the selling side of future goes in loss, then the call option protects you. And it is a buying right given to the buyer of the options. As I told you, it has two things, two components. It can act as an insurance. It can act as a rights to exercise at a particular price. So it is the buying rights given to the buyer of option at a particular price by the seller. Who has given that rights? The seller of the option. So exchange will facilitate that right at the time of expiry. Imagine you have bought one 10,000 call option at 200 rupees. Imagine this is the thing you have done. Call option you have bought at 200 rupees, and this 200 rupees is known as the premium of the option. So this is the premium you have paid to buy this option. What happens? This is a right given to you to buy the Nifty at 10,000. Once you say 10,000 call option, literally, if you translate it, it says that the person who has received this 200 rupees from you, the seller who has sold you this call option, rights, he is willing to give you the Nifty at 10,000 rupees at any point of time. So this trade is guaranteed again by the exchange. This is a rights. Suppose Nifty goes to 11,000, 1,000 point corner. But the seller who has sold you these rights at 200, you can ask that you give me Nifty at 10,000. Because you have agreemented with me to provide me at 11,000. Whatever the loss is there, that is yours. You need to give me at 10,000. So you make a profit of 800 rupees, and the seller make a loss of 800 rupees because he has already received a premium of 200. So difference between 10,000 and 11,000, 1,000 points. So he has received 200, so 800 rupees loss for the seller, 800 rupees gain for him. Same time, if the Nifty fall down to 9,500, what will happen? If Nifty fall down to 9,500, you do not have a obligation. The seller cannot say that, okay, I sold you Nifty at, I sold the rights to you at 10,000. Now you give me 500 rupees. Seller has no right. Seller of the option only has the obligation. Buyer of the option has the rights. No obligation. So buyer of the option is having rights to exercise, no obligation. Seller of the option has no rights and only obligation. So you may think that it is a one-sided contract. No, because this rights is being given to you by the seller. The seller has given you that rights. So it is a risk the seller has carried with his own interest. So for that reason only, it is not a one-sided contract. It is a mutually agreed risk-shared contract. Same way the put option. This also act as a insurance, as an insurance as well as a rights. So this is an insurance for the future buyer. So anybody buys a future contract, this put option act as an insurance. If the trade future buy trade goes against him, then this put option protects. So future seller, if you are a seller of a future, call option act as an insurance for you. If you are a buyer of a future, then put option acts as an insurance for you. So now the seller, same, the right part also is the same. The seller has the rights to sell that particular asset at a particular price. However, so the seller given the right, so it is a selling right given to the option buyer or the put option buyer to exercise at a particular price, and this rights is given by whom? By the seller. So exchange will facilitate this right and at the time of expiry. So this is the definition of a call option and a put option. Now this previously our call option and put option has two parts. One was the European options and American options. Currently all options are European. So all options are European. It has to be European means it has to be exercised at the day of settlement. You cannot early exercise it. However, American options earlier you can able to exercise earlier also. And who fixed this strike price of option? It is being fixed by the exchange. No trader has the rights to fix the strike price of option. And who fixed the base price of the option? So option should start at a trade of 100 rupees, 50 rupees or whatever may be. This base price also being estimated from the underlying assets volatility, and this base price also is being initially once the option start trading the first day itself or the first trade itself, the base price has to be fixed by exchange and it will be revised time to time. And this option pricings, when that base price I am telling, whether the best price anybody can fix it at any price, exchange can say that no, this option is 100 rupees. No, they have to follow one pricing model. Our NSE follows Black and Scholes model. They use the interest rate as a 10%. So this information also you can able to go. Then we have a Cox-Ross-Robinson's binomial option pricing model also. So here, this is little advanced for traders. Cox-Ross-Robinson binomial option model. It is advanced for the traders if you are doing a intraday trade and all. Little bit of more accuracy you can get that. Then to calculate this options premium, you have a very huge formula. I will not go into that formula. So this is how the formula look like. Do not worry about that. You as a trader don't need to understand this formula as I told you. And same way the binomial option also has one formula. This as a trader also you don't require to understand this. Now coming to the next part of our basic learning. So you understood what is a call option and what is a put option. Now we will go for the ITM, ATM and OTM. In the money option, at the money option and out of money option. So this is also a very basic concept of the option trading. So what is this AITM, ATM and OTM option? ITM option says that it is having a positive intrinsic value. Whenever option is traded at a premium, it has two components. One is time value, another is intrinsic value. I'll show you one example also. So in the money option will have a positive intrinsic value. At the money option will have a zero intrinsic value. Out of money options will have a negative intrinsic value. And this intrinsic value, how we will calculate? Intrinsic value need to be calculated through one formula, underlying price minus call strike. In case of a put option, put strike minus underlying price. This is only difference, and premium minus intrinsic is your time. So now go for one very good example here. So very good example we will go for so that we can understand this thing. So I am going to take an option from the NSE site. So I will be visiting the NSE site. So you will be also knowing that how one option is important and how an option I can estimate also. So in this NSE site, you will be getting one option chain like this. So it will be having a lot of call option, put option, lot of headings is there. So try to understand this option chain. NSE gives a great information here. Open interest, change in open interest, IVs of options, LTP, and bid and ask, and this is the strike. It is a very bunch of data, crowded data you are getting. And below they are giving one very good information here. What is the interest rate they have used for computing the implied volatility? And highlighted options are the in the money options. This is also that which is having a positive intrinsic value. So they made lot of things to inform you about these things. However, out of these things, one very important is their option chart. Once you click here, you will get option chart here. So it will ask for the flash player to upgrade. So if you have not upgraded, just click in this button, go for the side player, side settings, and you will get a flash here. So here allow, and once you allow this thing, then the charts will come properly. So reload. So the page is reloaded now. We are just going to see the charts here. The chart has come. So here, understanding this chart is very important for you. So which chart I am seeing now? So I'll just draw a line to show you that yes, this is the chart we are seeing for 10,000 call option. 10,000 call option. So this is for the 10,000 call option. So 10,000 call option, if I click on this chart, it is showing me two lines here, and if I change my mouse pointer, top you will be saying that one contract and one underline. Here it will be appearing one contract and underline. This hand symbol you see on top of that contract is appearing. Next to that underline, right hand side time is also it is reflecting time. So now if I want 10,000 call option I have chosen, and if I am going for 920 period, I'm just focusing on 920. So this says the contract at 920 is 302 rupees and 25 paisa. So this contract is saying that 10,302 rupees 25 paisa. Which strike call option? 10,000 strike call option. So if I can just take out that 10,000, 10,302.25 minus the strike 10,000. So the contract value is 10,302 rupees and 25 paisa. So this is what I am doing. So here at 920 I got 10,302 rupees and 25 paisa. This is what I have got, and strike is 10,000. So I am just deducting this 10,000. My premium is 302 rupees and 25 paisa. So this is what they are reflecting. And at that time, what is the underlying? The spot nifty. Underlying they are taking spot nifty. So spot nifty is at 10,049 rupees and 40 paisa. So at 920, Nifty was trading at 10,049 rupees and 40 paisa. That particular time, the option was trading at 302 rupees and 25 paisa. So this is what you have got. So put this information here. So 10,049. So Nifty spot was 10,049 and 25 paisa. 10,000 call option at 302 rupees and 25 paisa. And this is the information we got. Now As per this formula, we have to go for the intrinsic value calculation. Underlying price minus call strike. So underlying price minus call strike. So underlying price is 10,049 minus call strike is 10,000. So I have an intrinsic value of 49 rupees. So what is the time value? So here I have to take this value, the premium minus intrinsic value. This will give me the time value. So this is the time value and this is the intrinsic value. So this is options for 10,000 strike you have found out. Over a higher strike, go for a higher strike. Say I am going for 10,500 call option. So same time I'll be just waiting in the chat. I'll be getting the chat and I'll be going for the same time also. 920 right side. I'm just crossing my mouse pointer. 10,500 is the strike and contract is showing that 10,571.55 and so how much premium it is trading? So 10,571.55. This is what it is showing me contract. So 10,500 strikes I have taken call option 10,500 strike. I will deduct it. So my premium is 71 rupees and 55 paise. And same time I have taken so Nifty spot is also 10,000 10,049.4 49.4. So now we have to take this is 10,049.40 10,000 we have taken 10,500 call option 71 rupees and 55 paise. Now we have to calculate the intrinsic value. So what we have to do? Spot minus this one 10,500. So intrinsic value has come down to minus 451. If intrinsic value is negative, then this is known as a out of money option, OTM option. And this OTM option, once out of money it has become, how much time value it has? It has a 522 rupees as a time value. So time value, how you have calculated? The premium minus intrinsic value, and intrinsic value is negative, so minus and minus will become plus. So 451 plus 71.55, you will get 522 as a time value. So the out of money option 10,500 call is a having a time value of 522 points. So this is what you have seen for the call option. For put option, only thing is that intrinsic value calculation will be different. Put strike minus underlying price. So same way we will go for the put. We will be seeing one in the money put and one out of money put. So let me go for 10,100 put. So 10,100 I am just going for 10,100 put I am going for. Same time I am taking 920. So underlying price I need not have to change. So 920 contract was 10,339.05. So this is what I got contract 10,339.05. This is the contract. And what is the strike? Strike is 10,100. So difference is 239 points, 0.05. So this is what got the difference. So this says when the Nifty was trading at 10,049.4, 10,049.4 Nifty spot. At that time, the 10,100 put option was trading at 239 rupees and 05. So put these things in the Excel sheet. So spot we have already put it. Only the strikes we have to change here. So here 10,100 we have to make it as a put and it was trading at 239.0. Fine. So now the intrinsic calculation will happen. Previously, for call option, how we used to calculate? We used to take the, the spot price or the underlying price minus strike. Here, the things will be different. What is the strike? The strike has to come first, and then the strike has to come first, then the underlying price. So now, how much intrinsic it has? Intrinsic is 51, and you have 239 rupees as a premium. Out of this 239 rupees, 51 rupees is the intrinsic value, and 188 rupees and 45 paisa as the time value. So this is for a in the money option because it is a positive intrinsic value. If this intrinsic value is equal to 0, then you will get it as a at the money option. If it is negative, then it is a out of money option. So let me go for a out of money option also. So this you have seen for 10,100. Now I am going for 9,500 put option. 9,500 put option. I click here and the chart has loaded. Now I am just going for here. I am just going for focusing on this part. So 920 period I just want. So 920. So contract is 9568.3. So contract is 9568.30. Out of this, I need to deduct strike. Strike is 9,500. So left out 60 and 8.30. So same thing, let us put it in the Excel and find it out. So Excel, this is spot price we are not changing. This only strike will be changing here 9,500, and this is 68.3, 68.30, and once it is going for that, we will be getting one intrinsic value calculation. So for here to also we have to change it to 9,500. So what is the intrinsic? Negative 549 negative. It is an out of money option. So what is the time value in that? So this negative minus negative will become positive. So 549 plus 68, 617 rupees and 70 paisa is the time in this option. Intrinsic value is 0. Negative means it is 0 because money cannot go negative. So intrinsic value is 0. Whatever the value is there, this is time value, notational visible, and this value of 549 rupees of time value, it is invisible. It is not realized now. So this is an invisible component of time value, and this is the visible component of the time. So this is what the in the money, at the money, and out of money options. Now coming to the next part of our calculations or basic concept, which is volatility and implied volatility. So this implied volatility, once you want to filter it out, this has no formula. It has no direct formula to calculate implied volatility. Implied volatility can be calculated only and only through some software algorithms. So here, what is this volatility and implied volatility? Volatility, as I have told you can take past 10 days data, take logarithmic method and calculate, or past 1 year data and calculate. So this is the, by definition, it is the uncertainty at a particular time. This is the definition of volatility. Literature definition. But we as a trader, we don't require that. So as a trader, it is for us, it is the percentage of oscillation the financial instrument will experience in a particular time frame. If I am saying Nifty annual volatility is 15%, 15% is the annual volatility of Nifty, that says Nifty in the coming 1 year period will show me 15% of oscillation. This 15% may be upside, may be downside. So this oscillation I will be getting. Now coming to the next part. The furthermore mathematical definition says that it is the annualized standard deviation of the price change. So price change, whatever happens, it's annualized standard deviation. That is known as the volatility. So this particular 15% of oscillations I may experience, I do not know whether it will be upside oscillations or downside oscillation. That I can able to find out through some Fibonacci period or GAN to get some trend indicators. Then we can find it out. However, volatility says that percentage of oscillations, percentage of fluctuations, percentage of price change, the instrument will experience in that particular time frame. Now coming to the implied volatility. It is the volatility implying on the option by the trader. So here the volatility what you have calculated, that is based on historic data. However, implied volatility says that trader doesn't accept that volatility. Trader wants to give this volatility to the option. It is implied. In other words, this is the volatility the underlying will experience in future. This is a trailing indicator. This is a forward indicator. This is the volatility the underlying will experience in future. So this is implied volatility. So coming to the calculation of implied volatility. So I have just designed one small black and Scholes calculator here, call and put premium calculator. So this also we have given a web calculator. I'm just taking here 10,100 call option, 204 rupees it is recorded here. So I'm taking 10,100 call option, 10,100 call option. So 34 days are left till expiry. I am recording at on 27th, it is a holiday. So we have a expiry on 29th November, November 29 days, and here we have 5 days. So 29 plus 5, 34 days. Interest rate, NSE is taking 10%. I am also taking 10% here. The last traded, here it is just weightage average. However, the last traded price of Nifty was 10,016.15 when this price is made. So now coming to this particular price, if call option how much it is giving me? 296 rupees. But actual call option is trading at 204 rupees. So now interest rate I cannot change strike, I cannot change expiry, I cannot change this price of the Nifty. I can just change only the volatility, IV part, implied volatility. Let me bring it to 20. Still price is 248 rupees. Let me bring it to 18. Still price is 224. Let me bring it to 15. So 187. So let me bring it to 16. So I'm just changing it because it is 16% divided by 100.16, 199. So let me go for 16.55. So 206. I need 204. So let me go for 16.25. This is too less coming. Go for 35. 204 rupees 20 paise. So if I go for 31, then 3 rupees 70 paise it is coming. So if I go for 32, so like this way I am going on simulating and I am going to get 3 rupees 97. I am going to get 4 rupees and 09 paise. So now my IV has come to 16.34. 16.34. This is the IV I got after simulating it with this price. So this process cannot be done manually. It has to be done programmatically in some software or something. So this is how the difference of trader wants to give only 16% volatility to this particular strike 10,100. In other words, it says that traders, those who are buying the Nifty at 10,100, they are ready to give a volatility of only 16.34%. However, what is the actual volatility of Nifty? You just go for the future contract here, you should click here, so you will get the other info. So you are getting the volatility is annualized volatility 22.4. So this is the annualized volatility of Nifty. However, trader wants to give 16.3. But this too also not real time volatility. This is just a implied volatility. Because for different strikes, you will have a different IVs. So this is what the IV is, and this is what the ATM, OTM, and ITM option is. And this is what the volatility and IV difference. In the next presentation, you will be knowing about the implication of delta, theta, and vega.